Hi there. So according to the assignment, we were supposed to choose 3 to 4 intercultural interactions which either amazed us, surprised us, or made us feel a little different and our own culture make us feel. And it's been a month since I've been here in Mexico, and I think that I've already encountered some intercultural differences, and I got to know the culture and the mentality a little bit better. And therefore, I chose four occasions where I felt a little different or which amazed me. And I think the first one is surely the greeting. The way how Mexicans greet is very different than in Europe, because in Europe I think we're more used to shake hands and we don't really make that much of a personal contact. Like we don't really like it. We do, but it's not that common. But in Mexico, it is very common that if you greet for the first time or if you just greet anytime, you always kiss, and so you give this like little kiss on a cheek and then you hug. And it was kind of shocking because it happened to me also with people I would never expect, with like teachers. Then yeah, I would encounter them for the first time and they would just give me a kiss and like hug me, and I was just like, whoa, this is a little different, a little too, like, it seemed a little too personal, but at the same time I think it's actually really nice because then you feel the connection with the person, and it's not, you don't feel that they are superior, it just, you feel like you're on the same level, or that they're just, we're all humans. So yeah, I think that's surely something which is different from Europe, and I feel like I'm still having little problems sometimes, because sometimes I'm unsure if I have to do it every time, or do you just kiss, or do you give a hug as well? So I still feel a little unsure, and sometimes, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get there one day for sure. So that's one thing. Another thing is eating, which also happened to us, that we were on this trip in Puerto Escondido, which is yeah, the set of beaches, and we were having this collective breakfast, which one of our friends organized for us, and then we were a lot of people sitting around the table, and then there was this guy preparing it, and he was just handing us plates, and then I feel like in Europe it's a nice gesture to, even though you already have the plate and it's getting cold or whatever, you always wait for everyone to get their food and then you start eating. But then yeah, so we were, because it was quite an international group, and then we were all just sitting there and waiting for everyone to get the plate, and there was this Mexican guy who organized this trip for us, and he was just like, yeah, you can already start eating, it's so normal to not wait for the other people and just start eating. We were like, oh, okay, that's a little different, because I don't know, I think in Europe we would find it really rude that the others are not waiting, or it's a sign of disrespect, I would say, but yeah, for them it doesn't really matter. So yeah, there was another thing which was a little different. I think third would be the Catholic approach, which I really felt in my school. So we had the very first week we had this introduction week, or few introduction days, and then it was not only for the exchange people, but it was also for the first year students, and we were all in this very very big hall, and they were just giving these speeches about like the facility, but then also the thing is that the school where we study is it's Jesuit, therefore they also really put the enthusiasm. They really yeah, like, okay, so there was this principal who was talking, and then he was really um, he was really making clear that the school is Jesuit, and that it was not really in a Catholic way, but it was, I don't know, it was kind of weird because he was actually talking like some kind of revolutionist or something. He was like, yeah, like everyone should be helping each other, and this is a Jesuit school. So we helped, oh, and we actually also got these little, I mean, it's like super cute. I really felt the connection because it was so kind of forceful to be connected and to be helping and everything, but it was also at the same time really nice because then you feel secure that you would always have someone to look after you, or it was kind of, yeah, just really connecting, I would say. So yeah, we got these bracelets, and it says Ciudad de mí mismo, de otros y de la comunidad, which means to look, yeah, to look after yourself, the others, and the community. So I guess that's one big motto of the school. And I think if this is the motto of the school, then it really makes you feel like you are always connected with people. You're never alone, and yeah, it's yeah, you're like part of this community, even though you don't have to, believe in, like I don't know, it's it's hard to explain, but it's yeah, it kind of seems like if we were Catholic and we were in some kind of church and just, we're all connected, but we're only in school. And at the same time that they have this motto and they try to promote this idea, they don't really push anyone to be Catholic or to, believe in anything. Like they would never have any like collective sessions or I don't know. It's just the idea behind the religion, I think. So I think that's really cool because also in Europe it's different because there's so many different religions, or people don't really believe in anything either. So they would I know I cannot imagine a facility like school to be built on ideas which are religious. So I think that was really cool as well. I think I'm so over time anyway. So the last thing which I encountered was yeah, the connection with nature. It also happened that we were at this the same trip where the breakfast happened, and yeah, it's just so different to see Mexican people perceiving nature, because I think they do really appreciate what nature is doing for us, that we would not we would not exist without nature. And also I feel like it kind of made me sad at the same time that just knowing or realizing that in Europe we kind of lost this connection with nature, and people don't really appreciate things which are important. Like yeah, just like I don't know, whatever, like the beaches or the trees or whatever, because I feel like that's what actually matters, because that's what is making us to be alive. And yeah, I think that was really really touching to be appreciating yeah, just everything what is around us. And yeah, I think that just made me really emotional, and but also made me realize that it is something which is really important, and which our generation lost, or which we don't appreciate anymore, and yeah, which is still crucial for us. So yeah, I think that was really eye-opening and made me change all my views, or may not maybe change, but just made me strengthen my views on yeah, on what's happening, or like this communism, what consumism, and just the time we live in, that it's not really that nice, or yeah, it's just not as it was hundreds years ago, when people were just actually living off the earth and they were appreciating everything. Everything was like, they knew so much about the world and about the nature and the herbs, and everything what they were using was of the planet. And I feel like now people just strive for money and buy more and have more, and be more popular and everything. And at the same time, it's just, does it actually matter? Like, would you be here without nature? Or so yeah, I think it's just this connection with nature and the knowledge which should be perceived as something yeah, which really made me realize that this is what matters. I think, yeah, hard to explain, but I hope you got my point. So yeah, those were the four things which surprised me, amazed me, made me realize something, or whatever. And I'm a little over the time, but I hope it, yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, see.